Hey,
Is this your first rapture? This your first time?
hey, we're live on the cuss. All right, so we're just checking in. We gotta make sure because we heard the rapture was like 24, 48 hours ago. We just making sure, there's no clothes left on the floor. Did you wake up and somebody was missing from your bedside, or you left behind?
Is this your first time? Or have you been through this before?
Right? Welcome to the Other Sun live stream, and we are here today. We're going to be talking about food again and the necessity to make some shifts based off of what's happening. And it's just like sports and there's chessboard, they make a move, you make a move. And, they're making moves, and a lot of people just like watching the board and not making moves. Your turn is being skipped to respond to what's happening with the food industry. So before we begin, just a few announcements, and I'm going to welcome several of you all in. I see people are rolling into the live stream. So we're close to the end of the month, and that means group
Yes.
soul clearing. So group soul clearing will be tomorrow for those who would like to join us in the monthly energy hygiene, where we will assist with clearing negative motivators, a variety of other energetic interferences such as attachments, entities, ancestral codicils that may be enslaving you into old traditional norms and patterns. And along with this, you have a full call for the truth divination card reading that's personal to you. And we provide a complimentary 20-minute follow up, and that would be with me. And all of this will be sent in your email upon signing up. So we look forward to joining you in our monthly energy hygiene maintenance. Also, we are wrapping up the end of the month. We just finished Energy Hygiene 101.
Yay!
Yeah, right. I like your fanfare. Subtle, but
Yay!
I appreciate it. Hey, I need to get one of those audio cues. It's there in somewhere. It's somewhere in there. But we had a really good time. Really good time. Good vibes. Very intimate class. And whenever we have those intimate classes, it allows for further exploration. And one of the things that I enjoyed most was really to see the students' adherence and their success outside of the class. Because really, where it goes down is, yeah, it's one thing to be lighting up your field and your energy body with a group of people who's about that life. It's
Yeah.
another thing to do it within your regular daily routine when you're interfacing with people at home, at work, etc., to see how these practices work for you. And they came back with some raving reviews. One of them I want to share, and I'm a name drop because she's usually on here. Nichelle, she was part of the class. She mentioned that well, the assignment was to be more sensitive to your environment, and that way you have the awareness of when to raise your field back up because the environment has such a gravitational pull. So she came back after the assignment and shared that she noticed that there was some anxiety that she was feeling out of nowhere. And you mentioned to us in the past, like sometimes you'll be in the kitchen and you're like, where's this thought? It's like, that ain't my thought. And you track it back, it's like from the neighbors, from somewhere else. And it was very much so that with her, she realized it was her son's anxiety, not her own. So she went to sit her son down, talk to him, and straight up asked him, are you feeling anxiety towards such and such? And straight no chaser, yeah, mom, I'm feeling anxiety, and it's in my chest. And so it was confirmation
Yes.
to her, that not only did she feel the frequency, she knew to raise up, but then she put on her sleuth hat, got her monocle, and started tracing that anxiety back, and got her confirmation. And when she shared it in the class, you could feel the elation and the strengthening of her having an experience, and of course sharing it in an
Yes.
environment that supported her. You got any thoughts on this?
And it's just the permission that you get from being in a class where the principles and laws support the greater you that you have never experienced is what you give your students. The clarity that you can be sensitive enough to do it automatically makes everyone stronger, and then they realize they can. What a wonderful, satisfying experience for everyone.
Very much
All
so.
the ones in the class, the ones who do it, the teacher, everyone, because we have believed so little of ourselves. We
Yeah.
think ourselves so small that it's a huge victory And then we get to talk about it here in this environment so others may hear. You too can be sensitive to what's going on around you, and you can follow that thread, and you may be able to help your loved ones or someone else that needs that assistance, because you now recognize and you have been uh, stamped with the stamp of approval, like, yes, you can sense what's going on with other people. Yes, you can go and speak to them and they can verify. And yes, you can then relieve that constriction and that tightness that they have. Yes, you are the healer in your life.
That's right.
Yeah, it's wonderful. What a wonderful life you're living.
I was having a thought the other day. I told you about it, but I was like, oh my gosh, I do so much laughing. And it is really helpful. I shared that with the students yesterday. I said, I know it's not in the textbook, but make sure you laugh. It's so important to be in joy. And joy was actually one of the practices on day one. But like, seriously, laugh, chuckle it up,
Right.
get that out of you. And but I was reflecting on how hey, it was the other day, it was from morning to night. It's like, oh my gosh, like I didn't really have a break. Abs are tight. And so really appreciating the lifestyle for sure. And just to shift gears a little bit, we got some more classes coming up. And by the way, we see a number of you all tuning in to the podcast. By the way, it looks like Michelle's here. Yeah, we were just talking about you, Michelle, and your experience in the energy hygiene class. I want to talk a little bit about Lightbody too. We had some wonderful experiences with the Dream Team. So we're doing throat chakra. And we're wrapping up because you're going to be bringing us into Earth 23
Yes.
this upcoming Sunday, talking about the Mother Earth.
For the ones who are interested in what's happening on the planet.
That's right. Not the ostriches with their heads in the sand. Pause, right? So it's like moment of silence for the... Because we got to know what's going on. You don't want to be blindsided by what's happening. And the beauty that I love about this is that this is always solution based. You never leave us hanging. It's always like, this is what's happening, and this is what you can do.
It's important people come when you're ready. If you're not ready, don't
Stay outside. Go down the hall to the essential oils room, all right?
come when you're
Go to
ready, and when you're ready, we'll be ready to receive you. And this way, everything can be congruent and comprehensive and coherent, and no one is giving you more than what you're ready to digest. It's all right. You're eternal. You can do this another time if you choose.
But don't come back on the short bus. Just saying. Just saying. So I know there's a lot of dimensional there's a lot of dimensional shifts taking place on the planet, and this idea of the necessity for us to operate in sync with what's happening on the Mother Earth. You have any thoughts on this before we speak about some other things?
Yes, the idea of speaking about Earth, I will speak about it from several different perspectives, but it is important that we understand we are Earth. We are the element of Earth. Our bodies are made from what is on the Earth, and we are never really brought into that clarity. So what happens on Earth is happening to us. If the forests are all cut down, that is us losing aspects of us. If the places where the second dimensional animals are living and being mistreated, that is us. Whatever is going on with people building bunkers under the earth for what they think may happen, that is, again, us. So all of this is us. And I think that's the major point I want to bring forth, is that whatever happens outside of us is our projection and our experience of our own reality as the body of Earth, who we are.
That sound like grow up right there. Like get on board with the greater truth of who you are, how you were designed,
Right.
and respond accordingly. So looking forward to it this upcoming Sunday. So join us, and of course, her monthly talks are part of the Light Body movement, so it's included. But if you are not part of the Light Body movement, $25, come hang out with us for about 2 hours. get to ask questions to LaOta, and it's an open platform, and we're gonna have some good times there. And next month we're gonna be moving into third eye chakra. People trying to, I want to open my third eye, LaOta. Open my third eye. I think it's gonna be cool because the third eye is different than how it's projected on in film and movies,
And
but it's
dollar
like,
bills and the way it's projected on a
right,
dollar.
like,
Yeah.
ooh, third eye, the all-seeing eye,
I know
Illuminati.
it's so funny that our world is so against any kind of energetic or religions are so against energy, but they don't mind spending the money with the third eye on it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
Like it's all
story.
right there. It's like you take it and you use it as commerce because you're in agreement with it, but don't say it.
Yeah,
Don't say you're teaching an energy class like, no, no, not energy.
I am holding back from going down that lane. There's so many
It's
things.
okay.
Like,
I just thought
contain
about the third
yourself.
eye. I was seeing the image on
Yeah,
the money.
I'm seeing that and so much more. I'm seeing rituals and
Yeah,
churches, like
yeah,
other things, essentially other things that are associated with energy, and but it's for some reason it's just not seen as such. There's a disconnect, and but that's the reality. I think it's like that with a lot of things in reality.
Everything has its exaltation and its detriment. We live in that experience of duality. Everything is, there are those things that are exalted, and there are those things that are distant from exalted.
Distance from self. So I had a young man asked me about anti-life, right? And he goes, "Is anti-life the reptilians?" And I'm like, oh gosh. I said, not all reptilians are negative, but I really had to share with him, anti-life is just this energy that has removed itself or distanced itself from the source. So essentially, like what you're saying, that gap and separation from the truth, you're so far off, and this idea of polarizing oneself.
A good way for people who may have that same question, I love what you said, but another good way of looking at it is that think of source as giving life and everything that wants to move away from that at varying levels and degrees of anti-life.
Yeah.
So if source gives us, which we'll talk about today, food and nourishment, and then others come in and put plastic in it and dye it and color it and cull it and do things to it, let tumors grow on it, all of that, that then is, by definition, anti-life. So it's the broad way of looking at it is how far away are we from life?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
certainly. And that can be any different type
Yes,
of being.
yes.
I said, most of the humans anti-life out here, you got to chill.
There's things in exaltation, and then there are those who are in detriment.
Exactly. So, anywho, again, light bodies coming up, third eye. Definitely looking forward to it. There's so much that one could say about it, but in recent times, my guidance have been prompting me, go up there. That's where you want to be. Because I've been enjoying the sacral, this being in the flow of life, and this fluidity, and like allowing the release of anxiety because I've been living there and breathing through it, and playing and tapping into the heart.
Dressed in honor of the sacral
That's
today.
right. I see.
I'm wearing my orange in honor of the sacral today.
Honor,
A
respect.
little life force, a little power.
Yes.
A little-
Yeah, it works. Gosh, I'm thinking about orange energy and like bending spoons. It was a thing that you used to teach us, and the children and your grandchildren growing up. And but anywho, this third eye, they've been telling me, go up there, hang out there. And what I've noticed is that I literally can hear more. I know it's more than just the third eye, but when I'm clean and when I'm pure and I'm hanging out there, it's as though the antenna and the satellite is on and is beamed up and it's pinging off the different satellites, and clear communication is happening.
Yeah.
And so, again, I'm looking to dive deeper into it. And of course, what has been happening, and I don't know about y'all, but man, something about doing this in the group energy really allows for a deep dive. So there's so much to be gained if you're willing to put your snorkeling gear on.
We have so many wonderful examples of those who really invest in their practices that have extraordinary experiences But as everything, there's those who are in exaltation and those who are not.
Here we go again.
So there are those who come just to light body and they just do it there, and then they show up 2 weeks later for the next one. And they have varying levels of success, but the reality is that everything that you activate and you call forth and you dedicate your time and energy to now has been fed your life force, and it now has a life of its own to animate, and it does get better.
Yeah.
You know, it does. It just, but it depends on what you feed it, you know.
Yeah.
You can starve it or you can feed it.
Ah, so everything eats, huh?
Everything eats.
Nom 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 nom. Well, so for those message for those who are not doing your practices, starving your practices, but free will, free won't, right? You know, no one's attached like that. But the beauty is that anyone who comes across of a sun, you always have a solution. You always have something, whether it's like a Ho'oponopono, highest possible vibration.
You learn
et
either
cetera.
way. You know, you learn, somebody says the fire is hot, and you put your hand in it, and you may have done it in detriment, but you learn either way. You learn either whether you heard it and believed it, or you learn because you got burned.
Yeah.
You learn either way.
You know,
So our process is, we are here to help you learn. We're not in judgment about how you learn.
may we choose to learn without suffering.
That would be good.
Humans be suffering.
But not everybody is oriented that way.
Exactly. Sometimes we need the little pressure to encourage and inspire to get through that thick noggin. So, again, Light Body, join us every first, second, third, and fourth Sunday. You can find us on the homepage. In the description is a link to our website as well. So then, lastly, 2 advanced classes. We got coming up. Quantum Light Property Clearing is coming up next month. We're teaching it. The level 1 prerequisites have already been in. We got several signups. For those who are auditors, you want to join in on the fun. It's going to be remixed, a little different because our protocol has changed as well, and the class will follow suit. So again, for those who may not be aware, quantum light property clearing is an energetic modality that was developed by LaOta. Of course, property clearing is very ancient, but through the modality that LaOta created, it teaches you how to, well, first off, connect with a spiritual guidance that your body helps you identify. So this is all about what's in resonance with you and your soul's path that will operate as a guidance, but also help you with identifying energetic interferences within spaces and places. And then also how to cultivate the appropriate or adequate level of power to collapse energetic interferences so that we can reset the morphic field of the space. And this is what will promote more harmony, or even more so, souls who are on the path of growth and evolution, but you know, your environment still has the memory of the sabotage behavior. We can collapse that. But again, one of the things that I love most about this is that you can get specific. You can get very specific. It's like almost dauntingly specific, the nuance, but the more detailed you get, the more clean, the deeper that clearing goes. You ever clean your kitchen, you start getting into nooks and crannies and you step back and you're like, this is different. And it's that same concept energetically. So join us, and then LaOta has her advanced class in November.
Before we go to
Oh,
that.
yes, yeah. You got some.
We're good.
Right.
I'd like to speak to the idea that this is like the initiation of those who own this planet. This is their planet. They take responsibility for it, and they're willing to clean it so that it stays a beautiful place for souls to develop. There is so much exaltation in cleaning and clearing the way for those who cannot, and moving away the dirt and debris from Mother Earth. There is greatness, there is glory, and there is grace in this. You are encouraged to become a property clearer.
What she said. Due to time, I'm going to keep it moving.
Okay.
November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th Tuesday.
Yes.
You will be bringing back Soul Translation.
Yes.
Soul Translation is the entry for Advanced Soul Clearing Light, LTE, where it's over 25 modalities, but you're going to be bringing forth 4 core modalities that students can utilize on themselves or others. Helping identify gifts, which is phenomenal. People love knowing what's my gift, what can I do, and to have that highlighted. And I can go on and on. You're also going to be teaching mental causations, the thoughts that are behind the physical elements that are taking place in the body, and how to do something about this, how to clear and rectify it. And then you're also teaching archetypes. There are many different archetypes we come in. Sometimes our archetypes that they play out through our consciousness, but they change as we change, as we grow and evolve. And then also archangel realms, the archangel realms that are associated with your soul, and how to tap into those attributes, those gifts, the different abilities, but also the challenges that come with that association, which the gifts are there to help overcome the challenges. It's such a beautiful story wrapped in itself. So any thoughts on this Soul Translation Advanced class you got coming up?
I'm very excited. I don't teach this class often, and I'm very excited to teach it. This is really for those who have already learned how to get simple yes and no's. And we have classes that we've taught before that are available on video. If you have not gone through it, you do need to arrive at the class being able to identify a yes and a no. Everyone who comes to class will be given the information as pertains to themselves. Like, I will individually identify the gifts. I will individually identify the archangel realms. We will look at maybe something in the body that needs where we can show a mental thought pattern that has led to a physical reality, so that clarity can exist. And then once you have learned that, you are then able to practice it and use it. It's a level of clearing that is available, safe, and easy for you to do. You just need to be able to identify yes and no's through our system of sun calibration. And we have, like I said, many videos available for those who have not been able to get into a class, but we have videos of the classes where it's an easy thing to learn if you apply yourself.
Yeah, so again, only prerequisite for this events class is sun calibration. That's phenomenal, because it wasn't that easy in the past.
No.
Straight up, you had to take quantum light property clearing before you could even do this class.
And so you all have paved the way for all others.
Look at that.
Over the last decade,
Yeah.
those who took that class now have paved the way where everyone is ready now. If they can get their yes and no's, we can guide them through the process. And this is like all other things. It's free will. You can get as much as you're willing to get, or the opposite of that.
Yeah, so I just want to recap for those who have interest in her class. And although the prerequisite is not on the calendar, you can get the recording of the class so you can catch up to speed.
Yeah.
So we got you covered. You can always contact us at contactofthesun@gmail.com. The link's in the description for the site. This information is on the homepage under the workshops and classes. So it's a lot more descriptive in terms of the details and nuance. And if you have questions, let us know. So that essentially wraps up our announcements. Welcome, everyone. I just want to give a little acknowledgement to everyone who's here. Mario, Implication Veritas, Taylor. What's up? Taylor finished the apple fast. She says, not gonna lie, it was tough the first day, but good the last two. Thank you.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'd love to hear about people's experiences.
Yes, let us
know. If they'd like
know.
to share, let us know.
And then we got Shelly in the house from the UK, Implication Veritas, honor, respect, and gratitude. Elijah blessing us with all the high vibrational confetti, peace, beautiful, brilliant souls, love, light, abundance, wealth, happiness, and prosperity to you all. That warms me. Essential Tribe says, bring it on, third eye, and put like a single little eye that you were mentioning earlier. Cecilia's in the house, Implication Veritas. We got Delilah, Stacy, Implication Veritas, ladies. Nichelle's here. She says, Implication Veritas, energy hygiene was amazing and provided such an experience for me to serve my family. Thank you for the gift of awareness and guidance, honor, respect, and gratitude. Then we got Implication Studio, aka Dancing Lady, Diane of the Sun. And again, Essential Tribe is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today, everyone, we're talking about food, and the title of the live stream was, if food's designed to give us life, why does it kill us? And there's a lot happening.
Is that what the title you made up?
Let me make sure. Hold on a second. Let me look at this thing.
Is that our title?
Hold on. If food is life, why is it designed to kill us?
And where did that come from?
That came from the idea that we are living in an era of designer foods.
I see. I understand now.
Now the creator did not design the food to kill us.
Yeah, I had a,
So the
I had
food
to
is
think.
no longer what it is. All right, we there. She's like, make it make sense, T. Make it make sense. I think we're there.
Okay. all
Okay,
right.
cool. So yeah, so the state and the condition of the food, it's essentially some form of chemical warfare. It's chemicals in the food, dyes, all types of things, and it does require us to consider what's happening. And I've noticed that a lot of humanity has put so much unwavering trust in corporations that, and also the federal regulators, that they wouldn't do that to us. And we have seen over the years that there's a lot. There's a horrific amount of things that has taken place. But you often say, you free to do what you do, and I'm free to do what I do in response. And I do see that it is time for us to respond accordingly. Some are slower than others. Some are like, nope, I'm not doing that no more. I can see we're at varying levels and degrees. So would you take it to the beginning of yes, we're always going to go to the beginning, because you have taught me, I have been conditioned to see that LaOta has to take us to the beginning, because you don't start in the middle of a paragraph or the book.
Well, what I'd like to point out is I want to share that, of course, how we understand nature to be is correct, that the divine masculine is, so to say, the direction and the power of the sun, and the divine feminine is the mother, and who has all the components to make life within her. And once the sun shines upon the earth, it calls forth or gives the direction to life for life to come. And that is how all things flourish on this planet, through that same principle of the divine feminine and the divine masculine as being two polarities of one idea from creation. And that means that the light that is beamed down to the earth is put into the soil and animates all of the soil, and that all of the food, whether it's food that it becomes a creature, or food that is a vegetable or edible flowers, all have light in them. So essentially, we are all eating varying levels and degrees of light, whether the cow eats the grass that has the light in it, or whether the worms that are in the dirt devour the dirt that has the light in it, or however it goes. That the principle that we want to remember, it is the divine polarity of the masculine and the feminine that makes creation happen, that creates life, and life is light, and light is consciousness. So everything that we eat is light, and everything that is life is conscious. And these are things that have been lost in our dynamic in the third dimension, where we think nothing can feel anything, nothing thinks, or nothing has any cognizance, nothing knows who you are. You're on a farm, the chickens don't know who you are because they don't have any intelligence, and none of that is true. All of this is a fallacy. So I'm bringing it back to that point to then say, in the 80s, I was in Europe, and I saw something with food that people here never saw, that was never reported. It wasn't in the International Herald Tribune. It was never in any newspapers here in the States, but I was in Europe, and I saw the French dump Nestle's and other big brands that are here into the ocean and refuse to take them because the ingredients were not appropriate, and they pride themselves on beautiful food and food that gives nutrients, and they see themselves as people who are part of that dynamic of creation in a way that's different than we do in America. So I lived through their governments at that time and their people rising up and saying, we will not accept this food from America. And then American companies then changed all of the ingredients for them.
So you're telling me that the action of rejecting a thing required them to change, and that they did.
Well, they rejected it, and as a result, it wasn't so much they required it, but for them to survive in the European market, they had to change it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
They
so
wanted to sell, so they had to play the game by the rules of the people who wanted to eat cleaner and healthier.
and because the people of Europe could also make their own products themselves, but they were buying them from America, but they let them
Gotcha.
know that we can make chocolate milk.
Yeah, it
You
ain't that
know?
hard. Cacao, a little bit of cacao.
Yeah. Like, where'd you get it from? You didn't grow in America,
Yeah.
So it was the same thing. So since I have witnessed that, my understanding of the world is different. I think that I don't need another person to do for me what I can do for myself.
You don't need nobody to squeeze your lemons.
Only if they want to. It's like, so here we find ourselves in exactly the same thing. That was in the 80s. That was in the 80s when all of this was taking place just as vehemently then, because that was during mad cow disease, where American cows were being fed feed that was not vegetarian, that had animal in it, and cows don't eat animals, and it made them mad. And so it traveled from one country to another, and they were very up in arms, and then they started looking at all the labels and everything. So what I have learned is that if you don't buy it, they won't make it. And I know that seems revolutionary.
I mean, well, I see some people slightly catching on to that idea, but it's really the willpower to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
It's like a form of protest through choosing to no longer consume what they're producing, which technically it would hit them where it hurts, so to say,
Well,
financially.
I think wanting to hurt them is not the goal. The goal would be wanting to live.
Well, I feel you. It's not about them. It's about
Yeah.
me, life, my choice, and
I think that keeps the frequency appropriate.
well, because I want to speak on that more because it's not like, look, if Nestle decided to change, I'm still not eating Nestle, right? Like, and with these other companies, like there were, if you remember the mothers, I don't remember the name of the society or the group, but there were these mothers who were protesting about the big box cereal.
Cornflakes, yeah.
Yeah. And
They want
like,
cornflakes
stop
to make
poisoning our children and
like make the
change it.
cereal that we can buy from you that we like.
Yeah, it's like
No, I'm
make
not
your own
saying.
cereal.
I'm not saying that.
Go to someone who.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, and
not
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I'm not saying. I saw a very interesting video of a young man talking about his love affair, and it applies to this. He says,
Yeah.
he said, "You had your chance to treat me right. You had your chance to send me memes. You had your chance to make jokes with me and text me funny stories. You had your chance to arrange picnics, and you didn't take it." Dot.
Yeah. I feel like some people are like, ooh, I feel you. I don't know who that is, LaOta, but I feel you. It's a
And
real
so
thing.
it's like Kellogg's,
Yeah.
Nestle, Disney.
Dot.
You had your chance. So, how many lives have you got to spare while they learn? You got 9 lives? Can you jump out of the 12-story building and land on your feet? If not, maybe you need to stop after you see how things go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea. Our learning curve needs to be supported by our reality of how much poison can we actually accept.
Yo, I often hear you say, yo, humans are hard to kill. Humans are hard to kill. This is a disclaimer. This is not to say eat poison or things that don't give life, but
The fact that
we
we're
are-
walking around at all proves we're
Yo,
not easy to
it's a
kill.
miracle. The body is one of the best pieces of technology. has so much longevity
You
after
know,
all this wear and
we've
tear.
adapted to levels of toxicities that are
It's truly
unprecedented.
fascinating.
Yes,
Seriously,
and here we are still laughing.
still here, right?
And so we should,
Sipping methylene blue and trying to sweat microplastics out.
yes, all of that. So the thoughts about the food is that it is always us.
Yeah.
It is not the corporations. It's not the people who we think are against us. It's not the armies and the people with the guns. It's all about us. There are more of us.
Yeah. You heard about Nepal? He turning up over there. Had the president out there in his tidy whities. Come on, America. Just saying.
The understanding is that all of our history that we have, the history that has been, what has been presented to us as our story, which is not our story, that has presented to us has shown us that in every situation, the few manage to hurt and imprison and enslave and kill the many.
Yes.
Why do you think that's the only story we hear? You know, that the people, they just collapse under the weight of, oh, you want to take it? Oh, okay. All of our history supports that understanding. Most of our religions support, let them hit you again.
Yeah. Well,
You know, so why do you think that exists?
to reinforce the status quo.
Exactly.
It's the narratives, the subconscious programming of this is the way it is.
Yes.
You know, and even though
It's been ordained, too, that this is how it should be.
oh gosh, that language, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that, you know, prophesize that it would be this way and you can't do anything about it.
It's like, I'm writing a new prophecy.
Right? Talk to us.
Women are at
Talk
the
to
top. and truth and justice are right there. You know, yeah, it's a whole different. Children will eat clean food and be able to think. Yes.
So, again, here we are, humanity, having to make a decision. And this is not just the world, but primarily the Western world, because as you shared, there are other countries who are not down with GMO or other forms of artificial tampering with food, but we are. And it's almost like there's this type of, going back to the idea of why do they always tell the story the way it's told, with the few controlling the many, and it's like almost like a hypnotic spell through the storytelling, the retelling, and it keeps us in this cycle. I even think about it in movies, and you mentioned this to me a few years back, the Doctor Strange movie. It was one of my favorite Marvel films. Does not support them because it's not what it once was. You know who you are. However, at the end of the film, he was negotiating with the enemy, and I'm like, man, why are you negotiating with the enemy? And so we began to see that that's a trend in many movies, and again, it perpetuates this behavior of you cannot just vanquish this out of your reality, this darkness and this negativity this anti-life. You gotta negotiate with it.
Yeah,
And let it reign
it's so
free.
interesting because it speaks back to the announcements to quantum light property clearing. It's not negotiable. If there's something in the house and we're cleaning the house, it's leaving. If there's something walking around at night in the house and we come to clear the house, it's not a negotiation.
No, this is a boom, get on the floor, boom, 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 boom. This is that for real. This is that. You are a steward of the earth.
Right.
And so you come with that level of authority, and they be trying to run scared, but there's nowhere they can go. I'm just saying.
So, my point is that shouldn't we be as clear about everything? Shouldn't we be as clear about whether we want our bodies to be pristine, whether we want to live a long time, whether we want to die dead in a hospital 3 years before we're dead, or whether we want to die alive, we lay down and we don't get up? And we were fine when we laid down. You know, like there's this level of deciding how is it that you will live. Will you live a life where you can get as much life and light and consciousness into you for your expansion and growth, because you understand that what you do today is the next life you're going to have.
Yeah, that's so deep. I think
You
that's also
believe in
worth exploring.
reincarnation, but you don't believe that what you're doing today is going to be the steps up to wherever you're going next.
That reminds me of the rapture from yesterday. It's like, leave the world behind. This nothing here matters. Yeah, I'm bringing that up. Do, do you or someone you know was left behind?
Did you see the clothes on the floor? where their synthetic clothes not able to be
Yeah.
synthesized? synthesized?
The,
Did their
the
did their
polyester didn't make it.
did their dental work have to stay here? What about their injections, their Botox injections? Did that part have to stay here?
Weighed them down. All right, I'm taking us off a little bit, but this idea of not doing anything, seeing something and deciding, oh, well, you were more specifically talking about like the next lifetime and what you do now matters for the next. And I think that in and of itself is a whole topic of exploration that's worth it, because it feels like such a far off thing. You know, this idea of our minds are so fragmented, but we talk about my past lives, and we know people who are like, I won't go too deep into it, but you know, people personify deeply or relate deeply with their past lives, but not so much the next incarnation, right? It's like a weird type of schism.
I think people should flip the script and think about, what has this lifetime been like? I wonder what I did last lifetime. I think they should maybe say, well, what am I experiencing now? I wonder what my ancestors or my previous experiences have got, and what do I need to do to make that move forward to a place where I'm exalted. I may have to make some decisions and stop doing what my grandparents did, or stop doing the thing that I was born into, because that came from somewhere. So you can look at it from, like, right now I'm making my tomorrow. You can look at it like I'm living my yesterday. You know.
I like that. In the language, it really brings to the forefront what's really happening. I'm living my yesterday.
The most important thing is that you are in charge of all of it. And that if you recognize that that is the case, you can decide that you will improve that circumstance. And it can be improved, and then it affects your tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, or you can continue down that path and see where it takes you. Because if there is this inevitable understanding of law in the universe, and what you do has impact, whether you believe in karma or past lives or not, that just the fact that you're having your own experience should have brought to mind, I wonder why I'm having this amazingly, you know, wonderful experience, or whatever experience you are having.
Yeah. You know, so it makes me wonder about the collective experience. Like, hey, what have we been doing to allow ourselves to have this collectively shared experience of being poisoned? But also, what is there to gain? What is this teaching us?
Yes.
And I'll share
Yes.
to take responsibility.
Yes.
The story I often tell is I like microgreens. And when I saw that not only was the price outlandishly high, but I also saw that the quality was horrible. It would only last for about 2 days, and you know, it starts getting moisture, and then that's $4 gone for about 2 ounces of greens.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm done. I'm growing my own, and it got some soil. We were already doing alfalfa sprouts.
Right.
But that feeling of sovereignty, of I can do this, and then I could share with the people I love, and you know, dancing lady gets to get some of my greens. You get to get some,
Yes.
and I get to teach people and show people how to do this, and it was such a gratifying feeling of stepping into responsibility, and that's one of the things that I feel that is like an overarching theme for humanity, and it takes me back to something you often share, and I said this to the class yesterday or the last week, that years ago I asked you, what happened to humanity, huh? What happened to us? You know, with the whole descent from consciousness and dropping down into this dumb state. I'm gonna call it that, because like, that's what my granddad used to say. And you said, we made someone greater than us. We looked at someone as the authority over us, and I'm looking at us now, and it's like the the big box stores and the the regulators and pretty much anyone within society who has a high position is the authority, and we just relinquish any of our power. And I feel like it's time to take it back, and that's what it's teaching us.
I love hearing you say that. It is so fundamental. If someone were to ask me, what is the most important thing that you could ever share with another living soul, it would be never think that someone is greater than you. Recognize they are you. And that when you recognize that they are you, just playing another role or being in another activity, you always keep the right understanding with them. So you don't feel like you're their step stool.
Damn, I feel somebody writing this down right now. I feel it. Because it's a thing.
It's so important that our children know the teachers are not greater than them. The preachers are not greater than the doctor, lawyer. They're not greater than them. They're just them in another iteration. They are you. They're not greater than you. They are you. And this is such a important lesson, and none of us were taught that. All of us were taught, you do what the people in authority tell you to do. You do what they tell you to do. You are being insubordinate to your betters.
Damn right, I'm being insubordinate. Write me up. For real. But
Yeah.
think about it, like so many of us suppressed to not say anything.
Yeah, like you did. I know that you took off your headset, walked out of the
I
office.
can't. I don't know how I'm gonna pay rent, but I can't. My DNA got activated, and this is just too incongruent for me. I can't be forcing people. Get this direct TV.
So it's so important that we have that that level of aggression, not aggression.
No, maybe intensity.
Yeah.
Some water in here.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like, I don't want the water. I want the Pellegrino. I want that bubbly. But I think intensity. There may be other words that can be used as well.
Assertiveness.
Yeah.
We need to be assertive.
Ooh.
Even
yeah.
little lap dogs will bark and pee on you.
Right. True.
They won't just let you just do anything. You know? I mean, we should at least have that. That level of, like, no, you're not coming in this house.
And they're so small, but they're so like and you ever have a thought like, I don't know, man, this little dog is doing a lot. Make you think twice.
We should be so assertive.
A lot of little dogs out here.
Well, I'm more saying it like that just because we consider ourselves individually smaller than the greater organizational institution doesn't mean we shouldn't be assertive. You know, being sheep, no offense to sheep,
Yeah.
is not for us. You know, however, this is the sixth earth, and we should not forget that. That there's a reason why this is not the first earth, or the second, or the third, or the fourth. Our archaeologists are the ones who say that this is the sixth earth. And that means that, you know, we have tried a variety of different scenarios and projections into the future. This is the one.
Flunking. Flunky.
But we can decide that this will be the one where humanity is exalted.
Yeah.
And that everyone will fall in line. All the people that we think are the aggressors, in the face of the majority saying, no, we're going to be correct, will also fall into line. In the same way that everybody's trying to steal your money on fake emails, or trying to send you fake texts, or trying to, you know, take the data. And in the same way that has become the mass can swing the other way.
Well, certainly. And so it feels like so much like a individual change. You don't want to dance, lady? I was waiting to see if she was going to do it. We got dancing lady here, Diane, and she just gave us a little subtle, little shoulder bop, and I'm like, go ahead. So we're gonna break. It's time for us to break, you all, and we're gonna go to a word from our sponsors and pick up where we left off, and also go to some comments here. Looks like people are speaking about the Apple cleanse,
Oh, that's
sharing their
wonderful. I love to hear
commentary.
about the apple cleanse.
Yeah, so stick with us with a new commercial from Aluka, and we'll be right back.
Every financial crisis has one winner. It's not crypto, it's not stocks, it's not real estate, it's gold.
Hold on. We gotta run this back because there's no audio. We're gonna take it from the top, you all.
Every financial crisis has one winner. It's not crypto, it's not stocks, it's not real estate, it's gold. In every financial crisis, there's one asset that always comes out on top. Not because it skyrockets overnight, but because it never dies. Stocks crash, currencies collapse, property markets freeze, but gold, it keeps buying the same value as it did 100 years ago. Look at history. 1929, 1971, 2008. The people holding gold weren't panicking, they were shopping. They had liquidity when everyone else was broke. The winner in a crisis isn't the one with the most cash. It's the one holding what cash runs to when it's scared. When the next crisis hits, you'll either watch your savings melt or you'll be the one buying gold at a discount.
LaOta says, what does cash run to when it's scared? Big Daddy. GOLD.
That's so good.
So shout out to Alex Chinaborg in Dubai. We thank you for sponsoring the Other Sun Live. And for those who are looking to invest your wealth, your 401ks, monies, and things like that, because of what you see that it's impending, it's happening, or inevitable. Talk to someone who knows about this stuff, who specializes in it. He's been doing this for years and can assist with directing you on managing your wealth and your assets, tax mitigation. There's a variety of financial services, but specifically the videos talking about, look, invest in what will last. You know, and it's been 6 Earths, and we always go back to the gold standard. We go. It's
Every
always
earth is
gold.
on. Every earth is on gold.
Yeah, you know, I know we was messing with salt one time, wasn't we? Salt
No,
was
not only salt, but some other things as
Yeah.
well. But what has endured?
gold.
Yeah, try to buy some clothes off Amazon with some salt.
Hey. All right, so we're back, everyone. So thank you again for holding it down with us. Excuse me, raising up with us,
Yes.
raising that vibe and staying joyful, but also talking about some real things that are happening because we are all confronted with this, where we have to ask ourselves, are we going to break the habit of it's easier for me to go to the big box store and get such and such a things, and you know, I'll start going to the farmers market later. I got time. We were talking about this back in 2020, where it's like, look, we need to start doing things now. We're like, it was late then. So I think that's much to consider. And many of the things that you shared as well, just kind of going back to how we perceive what's outside of us, you know, not necessarily looking at the corporations or the regulators as the enemy. It's more like, look at what my other self is doing, but I recognize who I am in this equation.
That's why this Apple Fast was so exciting for us, and we were so happy to move through it and to invite other people to be part of it. Because even if you didn't have the most perfect apples, even if you didn't do all 3 days, even if you just wanted to begin the process you began, that matters. It
Yeah.
counts. And if it's a change, good. Change is good. Be flexible. Be willing to change. We applaud all of you and can't wait to hear about you.
I got the hand clap audio, but before we mess around with that, I'm going to go to some comments. Julianne says, can you do a class on the sixth earth and tie this into the new awakened human?
Well, we are living the sixth earth.
I mean, you in it now. You're actually a supporting cast member.
Yeah, I mean, this is the sixth earth. Decide what you want the ending of this episode to be.
I'll also say
This is not historical. This is
live and in full effect. Join us, Julianne, Sunday. LaOta's going to be Earth hexahedron, Earth 23. So we're going to be talking about Earth and what's happening.
I've only spoken about it 23 times, but
Only. And bring forth that question, actually. There you go. Boom. Mystery is solved. She also said, women think men are better. Excuse me. Let me bring this back up. Women think men are better. We have been taught that, but we are both male and female.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, Julianne. She's like, I'm trying
Yeah.
to teach you. Care builders here. Divine Day. Appreciate all y'all bring. And flooding us with the emojis. Thank you. Essential Tribe. It feels to me that DNA activation would help with seeing the truth about anti-life additives. I feel that it helps be better stewards to self.
Every willingness to go deeper, to clean, to expand, to clear, to know more, everything opens, and it opens different people in different ways at different levels. Everybody isn't equally open the same way, but everyone opens in their own way.
Snowflakes. They're all different.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the students was just sharing in the energy hygiene class about her DNA activation. So this is weeks after, almost like over a month since she's had the experience, and she was like, I was walking outside, and I felt just giant. I felt like I was walking in a movie, and it just like out of my body, and I was like, what is happening? It's like
Yes.
her consciousness raised up,
Right.
and her perception of self and reality shifted. So, and again, the way she described it was a little different than what I've experienced, but I'm like, I know what you're talking about. I see it.
In my learning about DNA, I was obsessed with the idea of DNA activation. And I had it done many times. I did it myself. I went to many people and spent much, much money. And I couldn't get really any information. So I learned to pay attention. And then I could tell when I wasn't connected anymore. Like I would do it, but there was no supporting infrastructure like we have that supported people in having affirmations and practices and meditations, so I would fall out of it. Then I would do it again, and then 6 months later, I'm like, I don't feel my activation.
Yeah.
And then I did it again, and that went on until through that process of determination and continuing, that I not only learned how to do it, but how to bring people further along in support of them staying in that way through replicating through your practices. But that was the DNA process informing me. So that's how I got the information, because that's what I was obsessed with. So what you think on is what will expand.
I had a thought. I think it was one of the students. It was someone who mentioned it, and this has happened several times. Saying like, I'm trying to get like LaOta, and this idea of like the system that you've curated is you. It's the authentic experiences that you've had of trial and error, and figuring out what works to hold the connection
Yes.
together, and then the other facets of food and other things that are necessary to sustain the evolutionary process, and it's all there, but it does require for you to follow through.
Right.
And we spoke earlier, camera lady slurping. Come on, camera lady. You can't sip quieter than that? Yeah, we're putting you on blast. And it's live, so you can't edit this out. You can't like cut it out. You can sip, just sip. Turn the volume down. She said she didn't know. She's back there trying to be quiet, but it's still not quiet.
The more and your DNA will expand into the sipping universe.
Yeah, it's like, oh God. It's like, ooh, DNA, it's making me thirsty. All right, we're back. But my point is that for people who are like, because a lot of people see you and they're like, I want to get there, work my way. And it's like you've laid out a path. And I see newer people who are like working it. And I'm just like, damn, look at this guy.
A lot of them. We have a lot of people who are really adhering because they reached us at a point where they were ready to do so.
Yeah.
And the whole point Above the Sun is that the answers are all within you, and we will help you hold the frequency where you may find them within you. It is not someone else. We are never pointing you to some invisible thing somewhere else. We're always pointing you back to you, Who are you? You're the divine masculine, the divine feminine. Who are you? You are source. Who are we? We're always pointing you back to you,
Yes.
because you, if you can get that part, you got all of it.
Yes.
So if you get that, then you are me, I am you,
Period. The end.
in Lakesh. Yeah, that's it. And that's really the most important thing. But we've been so oriented to slide out of that and think that, the authorities in our world that have become the ones who are the gatekeepers for food, for regulation, for housing, for insurance, all of that, we have been bowing at that altar so long that we don't actually even trust ourselves.
Yeah, that's a major thing. And
Yeah.
again, it feels like the overall lesson: learn to trust, learn that you do have the answer. I was just having a consult with someone about that yesterday, where the truth rises up to take action, and they suppress it. And they traveled, they went somewhere, and they felt so free. They came back to the States. It was like, what the hell? What's going on? But they realized it was a reality of suppressing the truth, and not. And so I do see humanity in general. We have to learn to trust that we know that we have the answers.
The reason that we seem so insane is because we are
It's like,
not balanced mentally or emotionally, because the traumas through our lineage and past lives and in this lifetime have not been properly digested.
yeah,
And the emotions have not been properly expressed. Like the time somebody said something to you and you wanted to do something, you didn't. That's what helps make you disoriented now. So that happens to you 500 times, and yes, and then the traumas that go along with that. And so you've been traumatized and you've been suppressing your emotions all this time. Now you're in fragmentation of yourself. And even though there are shaman practices of soul retrieval and all of that, once we understand what it is, we can call back our pieces. I call back my fragmentation. I call myself back into wholeness. It may take some time, and you may have to get pretty intense, and you may need some help. It's all available. But the reality is that's what, when you see somebody walking around your house who's your family or your partner and they are crazy, and you can't figure out, why can't I talk to them? It's because they have not pulled their pieces back together. Because if you fragmented yourself, you can unfragment yourself.
yes.
So if you have allowed yourself to be crazy, you can allow yourself not to be, through the same type of intensity of understanding I have the power to bring all of my pieces back together. I have the power and the birthright of wholeness. Because all of us have had moments, where we have to decide, all right, am I going to really go down that road? Or am I going to pull myself back together? So we all have done it on big and small levels.
That's a
So,
highly compassionate perspective that I sense that is appropriate for everyone to adopt regarding what has happened to us, our other selves, and really understanding the context of what we're looking at.
right.
That way we're not in judgment, but it's like, look, I know you crazy, but keep crazy right there. Because I'm working on me. And I felt like I heard somebody say, I don't gotta be crazy. I could change this. I could stop the insanity.
Yes.
It can stop? What? Show me how. Take a class. All right. So I
Do
want to
those
go.
practices. Get yourself into a rhythm of discipline. Yes.
All right. I got a couple of more comments. Here we are. Shelly here. She actually commented several times about the apple cleanse. One of the last comments here. In love with this energy, I've dipped my toes in elsewhere, but it helped me realize this is where I get the truth. I'm most whole and at peace here. Yeah, put that up on the screen so
We
they see
like
it.
that.
Sometimes people need contrast, People need a little contrast, and welcome back. All right, but I want to get to your comment. Shelly, you mentioned something about the apple cleanse. She says, I got through all 3 days.
Yay.
I found the oil at the end the most challenging of it all. Day 1 was tough, also cooking food for my family, but I flood myself with light while making their food.
We
Nice
know how that
filter.
feels.
Yes, yes, yes. Mario's asking, what dimension are we in again? It's- Where are we at? Where's my GPS? Where am I on this map?
In general, humanity is moving into the fourth dimension. The people here with of the sun are fourth and fifth and higher, depending on your adherence to the laws and principles of the universe.
Yes, yes. There you go, Mario. And just gonna give a little shout out, Stephanie Singletary and Lakesh Veritas. And let's go back up. Care Builder, Divine Day, appreciate that all you all bring. I think we made it through the comments.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well-
there was. Russ said, Apple Fast was transformational, flooding with exclamation points, and that's pretty much all I see right now. Oh no 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 no. Yes 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 yes. We've answered all those comments on the Apple cleanse. So thank you all for sharing about the Apple cleanse. That was something to feel the support energetically with the group.
Yes.
Those are things. So definitely looking forward to doing other things like that as well.
Well, also, those of you who have not done it, there's still time. As long as
Yeah.
apples are being harvested, it's an excellent time to do it. All through October, apples will still be being harvested, and it can be done. We just encourage you to get the cleanest apples you can get and give them in Lakesh and Veritas. Ask them to help purify your liver. You lose
right.
nothing. You may gain everything.
That's right.
And yes, it is a little challenging to be different, but you did it. And now you won't be challenged as much next time. But I heard from a lot of people who had done it before and had found it challenging when they breezed right through it this
Yeah.
time because the liver is not holding as much either.
I think it's when you say that, I'm thinking about the subject that we just spoke on, and how stepping out of our comfort zone with the big boxes, going to the local growers and farmers, sourcing things. It's a little uncomfortable at first. It's like, all right, I got to break my routine, but you start doing. Oh, I'm meeting some new people. It's a little easier, and this is fresher. Food's lasting longer.
Not only that, and of course, that varies according to their own experience, but did you know, a little fact for all of you.
Factoid of the day.
Yes, did you know that new life like sprouts and microgreens has 100 times more nutritional value than like a head of romaine lettuce, than mature life, because it has the element that is hard to quantify, but it's the new life growth element. So it's new growth, new life. So a tray of microgreens means you could eat 1,000 heads of lettuce and not get the same quality of new life. So microgreens, sprouts, you could make those within a week. And you can have sprouts within 3 days. You could be walking somewhere on a hike and grow sprouts and eat them. There is no reason for us, whether there's food or not, to be in need of food.
Yeah.
Because it has everything we need in it. It's new life. You can grow it. I do fasts that last much longer than the time it takes to grow.
To grow to, yeah. So you'll make it.
Yeah, you can hold your breath that long. It's really all right. So we never have to be afraid when you find yourself eating too much food. When you're on your third or fourth meal, if you're having breakfast and then 11 Z's and then lunch and then snack and then dinner, think about the fact that none of that is going to help you
Yeah.
in the future.
The light can't get in
That it
because you're
is
too full.
the microgreens and the sprouts are light without so many steps in between, without the cow in between, without all of the many things.
Someone's saying the mic
My
is
mic is
out.
not working?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and start wrapping this up then. So, with that being said, it's been a lovely day to chat with you.
Thank you so much. We are so glad that you joined us in Lakesh and Veritas with honor, respect, and gratitude.